group today,
Yes,
David.
indeed.
Hello again, everybody. Lance Russell and Dave Brown. Right along the ringside, and we're ready to go with a super championship wrestling program today.
Opening match of the day, Paul Diamond and Pat Tanaka will be in here as a tag team. A little bit later on, we will have the tag team of the King, Jerry Lawler, and the superstar, Bill Dundee. That's not all. Big match of the day. There's going to be a special television time limit on this one. The Southern Tag Team titles on the line right here as the Rock and Roll RPMs, Mike Davis and Tommy Lane, will be going against Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sagg, the Nasty Boy.
Oh, boy, we know what kind of little disagreement those guys have had in the past. And it'll come right out in the middle of that Southern Tag Team title match. We have just a general bunch, and I got to tell you, that little footage that we saw before the theme started out. We've been around wrestling a long, long time. And I guess maybe the toughest, wildest match that I had, because people ask me this all the time. You know, they're saying, what's the toughest match you ever saw? And I think both of us agree that Tupelo concession stand match that took back was probably it, no question about that. Up until this past week. I got to tell you, we will have some footage on that a little later in the program, so stand by. We got a whale of a show today. Back in a minute. Okay, boy, we have got such a whale of a show lined up today, Dave. I can't hardly wait to get into it. We are going to wait, though, because we haven't had an opportunity, I haven't had a chance to talk to a guy who's got a national reputation and even beyond our borders for a fact. We're talking about tough Bobby Jaggers, who is here.
You know something, Lance Russell? For the last 10 years, I've been a cornerstone of professional wrestling. I have been somebody that champions are measured up to. Everywhere in the United States, in the world, where I've wrestled, I have been a champion. And you know something? There's been a lot of people go through this Tennessee area. And you know what they do when they go through here? They get run out. They come out here on your TV. They tell you how tough they are. They tell you how many people they put in the hospital, how many people they've put out of professional wrestling. I'm not going to tell you that. Now, the Lawlers, the Dundees, the Jarretts, the Travises, the Dirty White Boys, you've all made big reputation, and evidently Lawler and Dundee have made bigger and better than anybody else because they've been here longer. But the reason is, ladies and gentlemen, they can come out here and show you videotapes of beating every wrestler in the world. But they can show you one tape, never. That is a tape of Hangman Bobby Jaggers getting beat by either Lawler or Dundee or Jarrett or Travis or the Dirty White Boys, because it does not exist, ladies and gentlemen. I don't make big money laying on my back. I make big money by beating people up. And you know, I come from a little town in Dunlap, Kansas, Daddy. 82 people. And we live on a bad street, brother. The farther down the street you go, the tougher you are. And we live in the last house on the left, Jack. And I'll tell you something right now. I don't care who they are. I don't care where it's at. I'm going to start at the bottom, and I'm going to go right to the top. I'm going to get a lot of people's attention real quick, Daddy. And if it means hurting somebody, Lance Russell, if it means Shoo-baby coming out and teaching somebody something, because you know there's about 5 million functioning illiterates in the state of Tennessee. You know, we got cattle in Kansas that are smarter. They can write their name, you know what I mean?
Okay.
But let me tell you, you know something, Russell? You are the worst TV announcer I've ever seen.
That's enough.
You are sitting out here. Do you know you can be replaced by a metal microphone stand?
Hey, listen.
That is how bad you are. On a Saturday morning to watch...
Hangman Bobby Jaggers. We've got a match coming up.
No, you got a match coming up?
Hey,
you get up, goofball. I'm going to sit here and give you a little
extra. Just take it
off. Get up, boy.
We gave you the interview time.
Get up. Get up. I'll show you how to announce a wrestling match. I'm not only the greatest wrestler in professional wrestling, Daddy, I am also one of the greatest colormen in professional wrestling.
Hey, we gave you interview time. Why don't you go in the back and wait till next time you come out?
Just sit down, Russell, before I push you down, okay?
Okay, this,
Now, there's a good-looking tag team. I'm telling you that right now. Pat Tanaka, Paul Diamond, one of the best tag teams in professional wrestling today, young tag team.
One fall, 10-minute time limit. Going against Bad Company today will be the team of Ed Maddox and out of Minneapolis, John Paul. And, of course, their opposition you know very well. Bad Company, Paul Diamond, Pat Tanaka.
That's right, Lance. Ring the bell. That's what you're good for. Boy, you look at these kids. That John Paul, the man's got a good body. Looks like he's a pretty good wrestler. Maddox, he looks like he's pretty much of an athlete. Now, there was a nice scientific wrestling move, Lance Russell. I bet you know what that was called. What was that called?
I'll call it a takedown if that's all right
an arm
with you.
drag. That shows you, Lance
Okay.
Russell. See, my 10 years experience is showing on the show already, ladies and gentlemen. Now,
He got him back again.
now there is a very, very calculated move on the part of Pat Tanaka. When you live by the high fly, you die by the high fly. That's exactly what happened to John Paul.
You notice that little move, too. Typical of what Tanaka and Diamond have turned to.
The only thing that's typical of Tanaka and Diamond is they're winners. They're not losers, Lance Russell. That's what you can't cope with, and a lot of people around here can't cope with.
Well, maybe people have a little difference in about your tactics, too.
Everybody likes a winner, Lance Russell. They don't like losers.
Yeah, but they don't like the way some people win.
Well, what people like doesn't have anything to do with anybody else as long as you're a winner.
John Paul takes a heavy knee right in the midsection.
They've got that young man in a pretty bad way. They should sit right down, and they should hit him down, and they should beat him. But Pat Tanaka's the man to do it.
Tanaka back in with a big chop on John Paul. In case you just joined us, our unexpected commentator today is the Hangman Bobby Jaggers.
Right there, Lance Russell. That's good tag team wrestling. Tagging in and out, keeping the fresh man in, keeping the opposition off focus. That's right what they're doing. Nice big body slam. That hurt him.
Diamond, not quick enough, and Paul makes a tag on the fresh man. Ed Maddox comes in, rushes Paul Diamond to the rope. Across the ring. He's way off.
There you are. That's what you call experienced professional wrestling. That man come in there, he didn't know what he was going to do. Uh-oh, what's he doing here? Oh, boy, there is a DDT, ladies and gentlemen. That's 1, 2, 3. Wrestling time is over for that man. He's a lullaby land.
Ed Maddox, 1, 2,
you know something,
3.
Lance Russell?
Yeah.
That was great. That was great. But let me show you how to wake people up on a Saturday morning.
Hey, I think you got everybody away. Hey. Bobby, out of the ring. What's he doing in there? Hey, come on, Jerry. Get him out of there. He's got no business in there. Bobby Jaggers, after Diamond and Tanaka end up beating Maddox and John Paul. Oh, he just hit his back right on that ring apron in there. Now, Ed Maddox, who was nailed with that DDT, is just slammed off his feet with that broad arm. Will you get him out of there? Good night.
He's enjoying himself.
Picks up that bullwhip, and he really nailed Maddox right in the jaw with that thing. That's enough. Come on now, Bobby. Take it on out of here. Now, we don't need that kind of action around here. You come up here and jump in after guys.
Lance Russell learned one thing, Daddy. Hangman Bobby Jaggers is here to stay, and it's like the back of the jacket says. Take no prisoners, Daddy.
Yeah, fine. Well, you got a great attitude, I'll tell you. That's just what we needed, somebody with the kind of attitude that Jaggers has got. We'll take time out. Be back in a minute. Evansville, I got to tell you one thing. In a few minutes, we're going to be taking a look at exactly what happened, and the whole world is going to know about Evansville, Indiana, and the action that took place in the Coliseum. Well, that isn't all over because it's coming right back again Wednesday night. I can't believe the card, friend. Lawler and Dundee in that explosive match, Falls Count Anywhere, against Don Bass, King Carl Fergie. Southern Tag title, Nasty Boys, RPMs. Will they be getting it on? And then a Mid-America title match. Yeah, former partners, Jeff Jarrett, Pat Tanaka will be battling for that title. Bobby Jaggers, the Hangman, against Billy Travis. Southern Boys against Big Bubba and the Black Prince. And Rocky Johnson against Paul Diamond opening up. And that gives you an idea about the caliber of the card coming Wednesday night. What a night of action in Evansville, Indiana. Pat Tanaka challenging Jeff Jarrett for the Mid-America
That's right.
title.
Pat Tanaka, get it straight. Heaven don't want me, and hell's afraid I'll take over. So, Jarrett, you remember the battles we used to have? You're going down, and I'm walking out with that title. It's all mine, brother. You're going
It's
down.
going to be a bout, I can guarantee you that.
Southern boys, you in a world of trouble. Bad company done whoop you every which way but loose. So Big Bubba and I gonna have gravy work, you know what I mean?
Well,
right there in Evansville. Yeah, and let me tell you something about that explosive match coming up.
Oh, yeah. I thought maybe you'd forgotten all about what happened in Evansville.
Forget about what? My eye almost being put out. Are you crazy, man? Huh?
Yeah.
I don't forget nothing. And Jerry Lawler and Bill Dundee, you gonna pay for what you tried to do to me, suckers. King Carl and bout-Badd done promised me you going down. And not only are they going down, but they gonna get put out. And we ain't gonna be satisfied with just putting you out of wrestling. How about playing you and putting you out of this world, suckers?
Whoa, Wednesday night, I will guarantee you that you have seen nothing yet. You've heard that before, friend. Come out and see it Wednesday. Boy, we mentioned right at the top of the program about the action that you're going to be seeing in just a moment. I want to say that this was an incident that took place in Evansville, Indiana. Randy Hales was there doing the commentary on the matches. Randy West was shooting them. Fortunately, he kept the camera going, and let's share now some of the roughest stuff that I have ever seen in all the time. Watch what happened in Evansville, Indiana. Explain to you that this brawl went on for about 17 to 20 minutes. I'm talking a real knockdown, drag-out fight. Now, we couldn't show all of it today, so you will see some edited portions here, but these are the highlights of it. You hear Randy Hales doing the commentary. This is a stage that, like a lot of the Coliseums, the older Coliseums, where you have a stage and then the auditorium out there in it. That's what Evansville Coliseum is. Let's get back to it.
They're going out to the back here. Out the back door. Bout-Badd's outside. They're going outside the back here in Evansville. Hello, guys. This is ridiculous. Get it back in the ring. Frank, we need some order restored. We need some order restored back here. Come on, Jerry.
you folks in Evansville have been around from around that territory, know the Coliseum, and is lucky to be standing the way those guys. Some of it is not standing now after that one. I really felt bad about Randy Hales getting busted open like that in there when all he was trying to do was quiet things down and settle it down in the dressing room. What a brawl that was. But when it comes to brawling, it's like everything else, friend. Don't mess with Dundee and Lawler because they're going to get their share and a little bit more of it. Tell you what, a little bit later in the week, I got some comments on videotape from Don Bass, King Carl, and the Prince. Let's take a listen to see what they had to say.
Jerry Lawler, Dundee, let me tell you something right now. I told you, if you want some, you got to bring some. And I see you bringing all you got. But when it's too much for y'all suckers, it begin to be not enough for us. And now you done came and attacked us in the dressing room when our back was turned. Glass was flying everywhere. And I'm going to tell you something right now. Some of it got in my eye. And I know you tried to do it, Lawler. I know you trying to put me out. But let me tell you something right now. I'm going to quilt with the best, the meanest, awesome individual in professional wrestling. Done it. I need you, brother.
That's right, baby. Listen, Lawler. Listen, Dundee. I want you to take a look at these faces, baby. When we get through y'all guys, y'all gonna look twice as worse as these are, baby. Tell it back, Fergie.
That's right, Cowboy. Lawler and Dundee, we're sick of you. You come down in our dressing room and you jump us from behind. And then when the going gets tough, you run like cowards. You run out the back door before we can get through with you. Well, you've been saying how you wanted to get a hold of us. Well, let me tell you something, boys. Now, we're going to get a hold of you. You better buy you a bunch of Dobermans and put them in your house, because we'll come to your house and get you. We don't care where.
And you gonna be in serious trouble, homeboys. You better have Scotty beating you up to the Starship Enterprise, because you're gonna be in a world of trouble on this good earth. Ooh, when I get my hands on you, I swear I hate you, Jerry Lawler, and I plan on killing you. You never get away with this. If you gonna rue the day you ever lay eyes on me. No matter what.
Superstar up in the ring right now. Here are their opponents. This match is going to be one fall, 10-minute time limit, from parts unknown at 424 pounds. Their manager, Boss Winter, introducing Rough and Ready. And across the way, a total of 448 pounds. From Australia, the Superstar, Bill Dundee. And from Memphis, Tennessee, the King, Jerry Lawler. One fall, 10-minute
Bell time, and here we go, Dave. Pardon me.
That's all right. Looks like it's going to be the team. That's Reddy starting off, I think. The taller and slimmer of Rough and Ready.
He normally, Rough is the one that normally starts off for him.
Ready out there against the Superstar.
Rough and Ready flipped to see who would start, and Ready lost.
That's right. I think you're absolutely right. Look at the Superstar. Back him into the corner. They steal him out of there. He dragged him all the way across and bounced him under the ropes on the other side of the ring. Bill Dundee over to the corner, a little threatening move toward Rough, and then back to work on Ready, the legal man in the ring. Tag made, the King will be coming in. He's got the right hand. He says, how about one time? Crowd says, do it. He does.
Boy, he tagged him too. The King crotches him in the air and dumps him off. Drops down with that right hand again. I'll tell you, the King and the Superstar feeling, I talked to him a little earlier, and they're feeling real squirrely today. I'm glad that I'm not Rough or Ready. Look at here, 1, 2, 3.
King and the Superstar have a very convincing, very easy, actually, victory. Oh, Boss Winter gets flipped into the ring. The King has got him.
Oh, what's this?
Boss Winter was yelling at him over in the corner. Rough and Ready trying to help Boss Winter out of the ring. I think they were going to relieve him of his trousers.
Yes, I believe they were going to put him in a position that he didn't want to be in.
There's his hat, which
what's left of it.
Yeah, it's pretty well flattened out by now. Minute 19 seconds, the victory for Lawler and Dundee.
What a pair! Let's take a look at him in another vein.
I want to borrow a little statement that you use all the time. It's he who laughs last, laughs best, because I want to tell you something. I am not a stinking little pencil-neck wimp like you and Jimmy Hart and Andy Kaufman. You see, it takes more than a couple of bums like the assassin to put me in the hospital. Jerry Lawler beat on one of them, he wouldn't be standing here.
By golly, we just got all kind of announcements today, Dave, and one of them that I want to make, and I really feel proud about this. It's well, I've known Jeff ever since.
Yeah,
like that, and it gives me a great deal of pleasure to say that independent media marketing from New Jersey has selected Jeff, and he is the attention point of this great poster that is available, and it's going to be in stores, and we'll tell you how you can go about getting it. But it is just a super work that is done on the AWA Rookie of the Year, Jeff Jarrett. So congratulations, Jeff, for being selected for that. It is, you couldn't really appreciate what a super poster it is, but you'll have your chance. You'll get a chance to buy them. We'll have more information on them later on. I just wanted to pass that along to you. Right now, I'm going to pass along a little break, and we're going to be back with the Southern Tag Team Championship match in a moment.
Titles on the line right now. The challengers are out of Allentown, Pennsylvania, at a total weight of 568 pounds. Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sag, the Nasty Boys. The Southern Tag Team Champions, defending the belts out of Atlanta, Georgia, at 454 pounds. Mike Davis and Tommy Lane, the Rock and Roll RPM. This match, one fall, special television time limit 30 minutes. The Southern Tag Team titles are at stake.
Oak, the champions, peeling off their classy headgear and formal wear and the belts. And you know, it's an interesting thing. Every time a champion takes that belt off prior to a match, that could be the last time that he will ever have it around his waist. A lot of guys don't stop and think about that, but it is a living fact, Dave.
That is absolutely true.
Nasty Boys playing for it to be that way. Brian Knobbs, Jerry Sag, big guys. They've got their attire off, and we're about ready for it. Referee Jerry Calhoun says, "Good to it," and here we go with Knobbs starting.
You know what? Southern Tag Team belts looking very good. They have been reworked. Beautiful belts at stake here today, and of course, prestigious belts. I think you fans around the area know this is the toughest set of tag team belts, one of the toughest certainly, to win. But if anything, they're even tougher to hang on to.
Boy, you sure called it. You look at the situation. The challengers today, Knobs and Sag, held those belts, but they held them only for a week because they went in against the RPMs. And while they're still screaming about the tactics the RPMs use, the fact is they lost them to the Rock and Roll RPM. Mike Davis, Tommy Lane came away with them. Sag and Brian Knobs had picked him up from Diamond and Tanaka. And we have had, I couldn't tell you how many changes this year. It is just a very, well, we call this the tag team capital of the world. And boy, I got to tell you, from the competition it goes, you can believe that it is aptly named.
This is Jerry Sag coming in for the Nasty Boys. The battle Mike Davis. Couple of powerful tag teams here. I tell you what, we saw the match on TV, of course, where the Rock and Roll RPMs won the belts from the Nasty Boys. The level of competition is definitely championship caliber. Main event at any arena in the country. You're looking at it right now as Jerry Sag and his partner Brian Knobs challenge to try to regain the Southern Tag Team titles that they lost to this very same Rock and Roll RPM team.
Sag tagging out to his larger partner, Mike Davis. Getting that arm stretched. He'll need another shirt size when this one's over. Boy, look at that knob spin out of there for a big guy and go right to work on Lane.
I would suspect Brian is going to be pretty careful in this match. He got blindsided by Mike Davis with what Brian says Davis had something in his hand. Now, whether he did or not, we didn't see it, but he might have.
Yeah.
But it pretty well knocked Brian out for some time and allowed Mike Davis to pin him. And the Rock and Roll RPMs to walk away with the belts around their waist.
Knobs told both of us, Dave, that he had never been knocked out with one punch in his life, and he knows he had to have something in his hand.
Tommy Lane in the side headlock. Jerry Sag comes in with a big forearm and then a broad arm across the back. There was some hair pulling by Tommy Lane. Referee steps in between them. A little bravery involved there, wouldn't you say?
Yeah.
Stepping in between Tommy Lane and Jerry Sag. I'm not sure. I think I might call this one from several feet back.
Oh, boy, you got that right, because in addition to the obvious glories and revenue that come from being the Southern Tag Champ, I think there's just a lot of personal things going on in the nines of the Nasty Boys that they would like very much to really just beat the RPMs, even if this was a non-title match. Mike Davis, Tommy Lane having a hard time. They are not starting well in this match with the Nasty Boys, Dave.
No, it's pretty obvious that just what you've been saying is what's going on. The Nasty Boys have been pointing for this match. They frankly haven't worried about defending belts for the last couple of weeks. They have been pointing toward getting back at the Rock and Roll RPMs, and that's what they're trying to do right now.
You know, the thing that I would throw up as a caution to those fans, many of them may be rooting for the Nasty Boys, some of them may be rooting for the RPMs, but I'm going to tell you that the experience that Davis and Lane have is a thing that you just can't put too much emphasis on, because these guys have been around the horn against the best tag teams in the country, and while they're off to a slow start, don't for 1 minute think that they're out of it. Nasty Boys, they know that, but they continue to pour it off. We've got a one-fall 30-minute time limit on this match.
We're about 5 minutes into it right now. tag, able to maintain control. He's still got Tommy Lane in the side headlock. Got him in there pretty tight, too. Look at him go.
Southern Tag titles on the line. Very, very important match. And it's happening right here on Championship Wrestling for you today. There's the Rock and Roll RPMs defending their titles. And I'll tell you, if... that's what I'm talking.
Yep.
Now, legal or not, talk about experience, taking advantage of that slingshot effect close to the rope. Mike Davis dumped Brian Knobbs, and stand by, folks. The Rock and Roll RPM starting to make their move, baby.
You may see a different type match from now on than you have so far. So far, it's been controlled by the Nasty Boys. Tommy Lane with a cover now, and Brian Knobbs can't make it stick past the 1 count.
That was a dandy little snap suplex that he got on that big Brian Knobbs. Davey, I'll tell you what, we're going to keep the tape rolling on this, but we're going to have to take time out for a break. We are getting way behind. I knew we had the match coming up, but I thought we'd be in a little better shape. We are 1, 2, no. We are going to have to take time out. We will continue going here and be back in just a moment. Oh, yeah, Evansville. Everybody knows about you. By golly, I'll tell you one thing. They say, oh, yeah, Evansville. That's where they had that wild fight in the dressing room. Well, brother, I'll tell you one thing. Wednesday night, you may have a repeat of it, only it's going to be legal because main event will be that explosive match. That's not all the action. You're going to have a Mid-America title match. I want to see. This one is Pat Tanaka, former partner of Jeff Jarrett, will be going after that belt.
That's right, Lance. As you said, former partner. I don't like to hear that, though.
Yeah.
I'm facing him right there in the Evansville Coliseum. And, Pat, if you're coming to wrestle, I guarantee you one thing. I'll wrestle you. If you're coming to fight, I'll fight you. But you're not taking this belt from me.
Okay, good luck to you in there, Jeff. Well, I don't think that those same sentiments will be exactly coming up in the final match. Explosive match, falls don't count. Do it anywhere, and it will be legal when the King and the Superstar take on Don Bass and Carl Fergie.
Lance, you are exactly right when you said that everybody across the United States is talking about what took place in Evansville, Indiana. Not in the ring, but what outside of the ring, up on the stage and then down into the dressing room, and it went on and on. And I can tell you this. You people got to see it on tape, but you're going to get to see it in person Wednesday night because this week, all over the building, it's all legal. We're not going to have the referee saying, hey, stop this, or I'm going to stop the match. Hey, I'm stop or get back in the ring, or I'm going to disqualify you. Because an explosive match means that the falls count anywhere in the building. I don't care if we take you up on that stage or up in the top of the bleachers or back there in the men's bathroom and flush your stinking head down a toilet again. Fergie, Bass, and you too, Brickhouse Brown, this week, don't expect a wrestling match. Wednesday night, you expect the fight of your life because that's what you're going to get.
I know that to be a fact, Bill.
Oh, yeah, and I'm sure the three of them is bragging out here what they were going to do and what they weren't going to do. Well, there's been an awful lot of braggarts come through this territory and say what they were going to do, the King and the Superstar, and we're still here. And it's not going to be no different Wednesday night, fellas. We're going to beat you up and pin you 1, 2, 3 right there on the floor, sport.
Okay, we're back in action once again in here. I'm glad that while we were taking that intermission, it didn't end. We had the tape rolling, but I'm glad that you're going to get to join with us as it's happening. The action of an AWA Southern Tag Team title match with the colorfully addressed, or rather dressed champions, the Rock and Roll RPM, going against the big rugged Nasty Boys, and that's Tommy Lane with a cover on Brian Knobbs. And as you indicated, Dave, it's been somewhat of a different match in these last 2.5, 3 minutes.
It was that move which is not legal, but Mike Davis from outside grabbed Brian Knobbs as he went by, clotheslined him, and that changed the whole tone of the match. What had been total control for the Nasty Boys, here's a cover, a 2 count. What had been total control for the Nasty Boys has just pretty much turned around 180 degrees, and it's been rock and roll RPMs who have been on the offensive. The Nasty Boys have had to be defending against being pinned since that point.
Yeah, they have been using, and here's this experience again. They have been keeping Knobs in that ring, and the punishment has been dealing off to him. You can bet they're going to try to do it.
There's Jerry Sag over in the corner on the right. He's waiting to get in. Look at Brian. Oh, went in too fast.
Yes, he did.
Boy, that's one of those times that it's easy to say sitting over here and sitting at home watching it. But what he should have done, of course, is gone to the corner and get the tag.
Immediately, that's right.
But
Young and really upset that he's been taking the beating. Knobs went straight at him, and boy, he paid for it.
I guess any of us might have done the same thing, same situation. But like I say, it's easy to call from over here. Here's Jerry Sag. He's frustrated, too. He wants to get in there and battle these guys. They're double teaming Brian Knobs over on the ropes. They were using that rope to choke him. Tommy Lane back in after the tag. Mike Davis steps out under the apron. The champion, Tommy Lane, used a fist. He doubled up a fist and jabbed it right in the throat. The tag made by Rock and Roll RPM. A back kick by Mike Davis. Mike Davis of Rock and Roll RPM saying, look at him now. Brian Knobs in the face lock. Tommy Lane hanging on to him. We're 12 and a half minutes into the action. 12 and a half minutes gone in this championship match. The Southern Tag Team titles on the line. Rock and Roll RPM's trying to keep them. Nasty Boys trying to win them back. Brian Knobs really needs a tag. Mike Davis with a knee lift and a good one. He steps out. Tommy Lane back in. He's got a cover. Count is one. He picked him up. At a one count, he picked him up. There's a count of one. He picks him up again. Not a smart move for anybody, against anybody. But especially not in a championship match. You just don't do that. The Rock and Roll RPM apparently feeling very confident right now. I've done it. There's a cover by Mike Davis. He picks him up, picks that left shoulder up, over to the corner and tags Tommy Lane. That's 3 times that Rock and Roll RPMs have passed up pin opportunities on Brian Knobs.
Davis holler and payment time for the beating that they have taken early in this match, and that's what they're doing. They're pouring the punishment. Whoa! Look at this! Big Brian drops that elbow right down on Mike Davis. There's the tag on Jerry Sag, and he finally gets in there.
Sag had been kept outside for over 5 minutes in this match. Actually, over 7 minutes he had been kept out of there while they worked on Brian Knobs and the Nasty Boys, both going after Rock and Roll RPMs. The referee knocked down in the corner. Look out. Oh, no. Bobby Jaggers. Bobby Jaggers jumps in and smashes.
While the referee is down and he didn't see him.
Here's Jeff Jarrett. Jeff coming in. He drop kicks Mike Davis and says, hey, referee, look at this. Count of 1, 2, 3. Well, a strange turn of events at the end, but we have new Southern Tag Team Champions. The Nasty Boys have won them back with a little help Brown evening things up. There they are, their hands raised, the Southern Tag belts in hand. New champions, Brian Knobbs, Jerry Sag, the Nasty Boys.
Let's take a look right now and see exactly what happened. Bobby Jaggers was the first one to break the barrier when the referee was knocked down in a corner. Then Jeff Jarrett came in, kicked Mike Davis off his feet. The cover ensued. The referee came up, counted 1, 2, 3, and that, friend, is where the belts will stay for the Nasty Boys, right in the middle of it. We've got some messages. We need to get our substitute match. We've got a standby match lined up. So if we can get those guys ready, we're not going to take too long away, but we want you to watch a message, and we'll be getting Billy Travis in here for some action in a standby match. We still have some time.
All right. We got an expiration of time match here out of Memphis, Tennessee. It's Keith Eric at 206 pounds, at 229 pounds out of Lexington, Kentucky. Billy Travis. Match for the expiration of time. Jerry Calhoun, the referee.
Well, no rest for the wicked. Is that what they say? Jerry Calhoun just got... That may not be exactly right.
I think it's something like that. Very close,
okay.
anyway. Yeah.
Jerry Calhoun has to continue refereeing this match right here.
Still a little groggy there,
Boy,
too.
he sure is.
Took a tough lick from the rock and roll RPMs and all of that action.
Keith Eric with Billy Travis on his back, literally. He was staying right on top of him. Eric popped over and down with that arm drag, and you know, if you took a look at the list of top wrestlers Eric puts Travis down that Eric has been in there against, it would really amaze a lot of people. You know, and his record is not all that great, but boy, he has been in there with some heavyweights.
Well, he certainly has. The best in the world have come through, and Keith Eric has faced most of them in some matches. He's going against one of the best right now, and Billy Travis. Keith got a 2 count. I thought maybe Billy had him there.
Yeah,
but only
like
a count of 2. Keith, I was going to say, one of the most confident wrestlers I've ever seen. Many times on his way to the ring, I got him now. This guy doesn't have a chance against me. It hasn't worked out that way in most cases, but he has the confidence to step in there. He fires Billy into the rope, catches him with an upper arm. Keith Eric with a cover. Not a very good one, though. Not a very long one.
Not very long, that's for a fact.
Billy reversing the whip into the rope.
We got about 2 minutes to go in our expiration of time, and Travis is trying to take advantage of it.
I don't know if Keith's going to get up from that one or not. Billy's going to come off the ropes here. Little extra. 2, 3. That's
Get it.
2 minutes, 2 seconds, 2:02 the time, and Billy Travis from Lexington, Kentucky, has himself a victory over Keith Eric here today.
Boy, you know, I've used the expression probably too much, but I say this, Billy Travis is really a tough kid, and he is a tough kid. I mean, he just likes to get in there and battle with it.
Boy, sure.
Whoa, what a day. We had all kind of things happening. Great announcement. Yes,
today.
Brand new champions, AWA Southern Tag Champions, and of course that immediately moves them up in the tag team world, and where they'll be getting particular attention for the World Tag Team title match.
Absolutely.
Okay, I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to check the clock, and we'll take time out. We'll be back in just a moment. Action into the doggone show we had it today.
We have today.
Oh,
wow,
man.
starting out with the thing in Evansville, Indiana, with that what a brawl! And the plunger and all that stuff.
Yeah, I said that was the toilet bowl of wrestling right there.
Maybe you're right.
And we come into the bowl season.
Lawler and Dundee came back and won a match today against Rough and Ready, and then Southern Tag Team titles on the line. We had expected a great match today, I think, out of that one, with the champions, Rock and Roll RPMs, coming in here to defend against the guys they won the belts from, the Nasty Boys, Brian Knobbs and Jerry Sag, and we were not disappointed.
But what an ending, huh?
Strange ending, but
Really? I loved it.
Maybe a fair ending, perhaps, don't you think?
You better believe it. I don't care what anybody says.
It was, of course, Bobby Jaggers who interfered, and as we were talking and you pointed out, that would have been disqualifications, and Rock and Roll RPMs would have kept the belts. But instead, Jeff Jarrett came in, ran Jaggers out, and with a little turn of events, it's the Nasty Boys who take the belts home.
You betcha, Jeff, with a big drop kick on Mike Davis. They got a cover. The referee, of course, is down all the time. He was still staggering, as we said, during the match in there. Poor Jerry still didn't have his feet back from, hey, we are out of time.
Yes, we are.
Boy, it's such a big, fun day. We just keep on going there. But we'll be back with more of it next week. And until we see you then, for Dave Brown, Lance Russell saying bye-bye, everybody.
The announcers on this program are selected and paid by parties other than this station, namely the promoters of Championship Wrestling.